Michael Flynn wasn't the only one who had Russia on speed dial, apparently. Phone records and intercepted calls show that members of you-know-who's presidential campaign had repeated contacts with Russian intelligence officials. Now, apparently this was a year before the election. Now, he called it fake news. He always does that. And added information is being illegally given to the failing New York Times and the Washington Post by the Intelligence Committee, NSA, and FBI. Well, just like Russia.
He questioned the integrity of the intelligence agencies. What does he expect? Does he expect them to love him and not leak stuff? Because he started this war with the intelligence agencies, and this is what you're getting now, Don.
It is a little scary, though, to me, because these people are unelected. So what you basically have is, now I'm not saying the content of the leaks aren't important.
Who are the people?
These bureaucrats, the NSA, the intelligence officials that are unelected, that some are layover from the Obama administration, the concept that they can at will decide that if they overhear this information, and let's keep in mind that they always overhear interaction between American politicians and foreign officials, that's part of their job to oversee that. If they can at will say, you know what, I think that people have a right to know this and leak it to the public, that can be a a little bit concerning to me.
Sorry,
that's not to say the content isn't important.
No, no.
Assuming that
This is assuming that there is a leak, but this is not the leak is not the issue. They're on the phone with Russia.
And that is the issue. That's the issue because I mean it's almost like a thief. It's almost like a thief blaming the surveillance video for the crime.
That's right. There you go.
So, right? I mean, isn't that what it's like? So you steal something and you get caught on surveillance and you go, it's that damn surveillance video.
Yeah. But
that's what the Trump administration is doing.
We talked about the leaks, though, even when it came to WikiLeaks, and always saying that the potential is for these leaks to be unverified, unsubstantiated.
But we don't know we don't know whether these are leaks. All we do know is that this information has been out there for a while. Michael Flynn's gone, and the fact that they were aware that these issues were present when he took office.
Yes.
They knew this was a problem. So for me, I just, I actually tweeted something this morning because it pissed me off. It pissed me off. It's like, really fake news? And so fake. Oh, there it is. Fake news, huh? So fake, Mr. Flynn resigned.
Yeah.
Wow. Does this mean that all those people you were blaming? Because, they tried to blame the Obama administration. They said, well, this is... Remember, Obama put the sanctions in, and the Russians did nothing. Okay? Because they knew they were going to be able... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say, and I was asking Jed about this before the show, is the first thing that jumped out at me about this was that Comey felt it was so important leading right up to the campaign to let us know about some emails where they didn't know yet if they were duplicate emails
or about
the FBI.
The FBI. Against Hillary. Sorry.
Right.
He felt the need to come and speak out about that leading up in the last 90 days about emails. They didn't know yet if they were duplicate, if they had seen them, if there was anything in them, but we have to let people know. What I asked Jed was, why is this not the same problem? Because if I knew leading up that there was information about our democracy possibly being toyed with by a foreign power, that's one that I would think they should speak up about.
You want to ding that? You want to ding that?
Yeah, I'll do it.
I got to ding it.
You're right.
You know what's bothering me is that the Republican Party is not stepping up the way they should. They will sell their soul down the river, sell democracy down the river so that the rich can get tax cuts.
No, that's not true.
Yes, that's what they're doing.
Republicans
I
standing
don't
up.
see anybody
That's not
really
true.
standing up. Let me read you a quote.
Let me give you some names.
There are a couple of
Representative Mark Meadows from North Carolina. Here's a quote. I would rather accomplish something with distractions than not accomplish anything with smooth sailing. They don't care. They don't care.
Mitch McConnell, Senator Richard Burr, Senator Mark Warner, John Cornyn, Senator Roy Blunt. They are all out there, and they are saying, you have Jason Chaffetz now investigating Mar-a-Lago.
Do your job, Jason. What are they going to do? The bottom line is, when I look at this from a prosecutor's viewpoint, this is treason. This is treason.
If they find that
definition of treason, because treason is putting your enemy before your country. Russia has been our #1 enemy for 65 years. And the question really needs to be, what is the overall connection between Russia and this administration? And the way we get to that is Donald Trump's taxes, because that's where all of the business ties are.
I'm old enough to remember Watergate, and so are you, maybe.
Yes.
When Watergate happened, basically, we're in the same. So So Nixon, we didn't know. Was Nixon involved in the break-in? Did he know anything? What did we know? So all these people were dropping like flies. Ehrlichman, Haldeman, John Mitchell. And then John Dean came in and he testified because he knew stuff. And then they found the tapes. And there it was, the smoking gun. Now, what is the smoking gun in this situation?
You know what?
And there needs to be an investigation.
Well, they need an investigation so that we can find the smoking gun.
Well, they need an investigation, but they need a separate group. Because the group that's in right now, I don't know how conservatives feel, but I would not feel comfortable with the group that's in now investigating themselves.
That's
now,
right.
I understand that the conservatives, I understand conservatives, they like they kind of like what they're seeing. But I don't believe that, because after all the bitching and moaning they've done over what democracy is and what we stand for and blah, 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 for them to sit back and allow this seems crazy to me. Well, and so I put it on you Republicans. I said this yesterday.
That's right.
I put it on the Republicans, because we have, you named some guys, we named folks last week, who are saying, listen, there's a problem. And if they're standing up, the rest of you, Paul Ryan, the rest of you should get up and stand for America. As you say, America first. Well, when is that going to kick in with y'all?
They should open up to a special prosecutor. What you're saying is accurate. And the reason behind it is they argued for a special prosecutor when it came to Hillary's emails. They argued for a special prosecutor when it came to Benghazi. The truth is that all of these politicians are entrenched with each other. So you do need someone from the outside. Real conservatives will stand up and say the system, in order for it to thrive, you need someone.
It's possible
and they should.
That somebody's going to get Trump. Maybe it'll be Putin. Now we know that they were discussing sanctions, this guy Flynn, right? And probably saying we're going to get rid of the sanctions.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
They were going to.
So now let's say Trump decides he's going to get rid of the sanctions. Well, the Americans will go crazy on our side. And if he doesn't get rid of the sanctions, that's going to tick off Putin. So Putin may turn on Donald. It's either the intelligence communities, the Republicans, or Putin. Someone's going to get Donald.
I just want to say that the really quickly, I just want to say we have two things going on. The conversation with Flynn, we have wiretapping on that. We know what was said. The sanctions were discussed. These other conversations that were going on during the election, we don't know what was involved. That's where the investigation needs to take place. That's what needs to be found out. Those are the
what
details.
happened before the election,
what
and
was
it's
discussed,
also what happened and after the election.
Was there collusion?
But we have to say that the administration has denied all of these allegations.
Well, the administration believes in fake news. They are the fake news.
The administration also said a few days after that a few days after the election, they came out and said, we didn't speak with anyone from Russia. And now we know that in fact did happen.
As if this is a big surprise.
I know. He's a liar.
Because, when they said, when Flynn was up, they said, listen, he's been in touch with Russia. He got an apartment over there. Yeah. He doesn't. But I'm making funny. But they made enough of a stink to say there's a problem, and nobody chose to look at it. Yeah. So now it's a big problem, and it's a growing problem.
Yeah, and it's only 35 days into this. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I'm with you, though. Republicans need to step up.
Yeah, they need to step up.
This stuff does not look good.
I want to see the opening of an investigation.
I do, too, with a special